Howdy. Today I'll be talking about my experience that I encountered with an alien culture. The culture I'll be describing is English in England. So specifically, I visited London around 3 years ago. Some of the customs that I found very interesting was just how polite the people were in London. Although many people think they get a bad rap and that they're not as polite as most people believe, they're actually a very polite population. Um, Another thing that's very interesting is how smoking is banned in all indoor areas. If you think back in the day, many people in England used to smoke as well as the United States, but in the United States, there's still areas you can't smoke indoors, specifically, but in the UK, there's no, places where people can smoke indoors. And something that is extremely rude to the population is spitting on the floor, which it could be a positive or a negative depending on your values or morals, but I found this very interesting. Something about England is that is also very interesting regarding their culture is their food. Food is very important to me just because I love to eat many different kinds of foods. The food culture in England is not very up high standards as other places like Mexico or South America or even Spain, but something that was very interesting was the pastries and the snacks that they offered their people that they made, especially during tea time. Tea time was a very fun and relaxed new custom that I learned to grow and love just because the flavor of the tea and how they made it, and as well with the adding the pastries that they created, it was very relaxing and very good as well. When it comes to art, the art was very fascinating. Has to be a positive because the art goes back to thousands and thousands of years, and some of the most beautiful art was from the medieval times, which was created in England as well. When it comes to entertainment, I mean, England created many different sports like soccer, cricket. Soccer is known worldwide now. It was created in England, and they currently have one of the best leagues in the world when it comes to professional men's soccer. And cricket was also created in England, but has been spread around the globe, especially in India. As well as entertainment, theaters and plays are also something very popular in England. When I was there, I was able to visit the Queen's Royal Theatre, which is the theater that the Queen herself usually goes to visit, which was also very interesting. And something that I also really liked about England, especially London, was how formal the people dressed on a day-to-day basis. And regarding the landscape, London is a very big and busy city, just like New York City. That's the vibe that the city reminded me of. It was similar atmosphere, and the city was very flat. Something very beautiful about the city was the very old structures that was there. There were structures that were built when the Romans were in London that were still in place till this day when I was there. And something that I also found fascinating was the different architecture. So you could be walking around skyscrapers, very modern buildings, and then boom, all of a sudden there's a castle or some old structure that has been there thousands of years, which is also very interesting. One of the negatives I would have to give about London has to be the weather. When it comes to the landscape, it was very gloomy majority of the time, not very sunny at all. So no weather to go to the beach or to go outside and tan, very gloomy, very dark. But besides that, it's a beautiful place. I could see myself living there one day. Thank you for your time and have a great rest of your day.